Hey, welcome back. Today, we're diving into something super important, but often misunderstood. Symmetry and Order OCD. Maybe you've heard someone joke, "I can't stand it when things aren't aligned. I must have OCD." And, well, let's be honest. That's not really how OCD works, right? Today, we're going to talk gently and openly about what it's really like. Not to label anyone, not to judge, but so that you, or someone you love, can feel seen, understood, and maybe just a little less alone. So, sit back, take a deep breath, and let's walk through this together, one step at a time. What is Symmetry and Order OCD? At its heart, Symmetry and Order OCD isn't just about liking things tidy. It's about feeling an overwhelming need for things to be just right, perfectly aligned, evenly spaced, balanced in a way that feels right inside. And when things aren't right, it doesn't just feel annoying. It can feel unbearable, like an itch deep inside your mind that you must fix to breathe normally again. Some common experiences include needing objects to be perfectly aligned or symmetrical, feeling intense discomfort if something is off-center, rearranging or adjusting things over and over until they feel just right, spending hours organizing, straightening, or balancing items. But here's the thing. It's not about being neat or organized. It's about reducing anxiety, distress, and that internal sense that something is horribly wrong if things aren't perfect. A gentle look at what it feels like. Imagine walking into a room where every frame is just a little crooked, every chair just slightly off. To someone without OCD, maybe it's a little annoying. But to someone with Symmetry and Order OCD, it can feel like a pressure cooker inside their chest. It's not that they want to fix everything. It's that they have to, just to get a moment of peace. And if they can't, it's not unusual to feel extreme anxiety, irritation, panic, or even intense sadness and frustration. That's why when people say, "Oh, I'm so OCD about my desk," it can feel dismissive to those who live with the real challenges every day. Quick question before we move on. Have you ever felt a rush of discomfort when something wasn't aligned perfectly? No judgment here, just something to think about as we keep going. How does Symmetry and Order OCD show up? Every person's experience is unique, but there are some patterns that show up often. Let's take a friendly walk through some of them. 1. The need for perfect alignment. Imagine stacking books on a shelf and feeling unable to walk away until every edge lines up perfectly. Even a 1 mm difference feels wrong. Not just annoying, almost unbearably wrong. You adjust and adjust and adjust. But sometimes, no matter how much you fix, it never feels quite right. 2. Counting and evenness rituals. Sometimes, the need for symmetry turns into counting rituals. Making sure you touch things an even number of times. Stepping an equal number of times with each foot. Lining up items symmetrically so both sides match. It's not because you want to, it's because something deep inside whispers, "If I don't, something bad will happen." 3. Redoing tasks repeatedly. Have you ever arranged something, walked away, felt uneasy, and had to go back and fix it? And then maybe fix it again, and again, and again? That's what this type of OCD can look like. It's not about being slow or indecisive. It's about feeling trapped in a loop your brain insists you complete. 4. Intrusive thoughts about symmetry. It's not just physical actions. Often, intrusive thoughts accompany the need for symmetry, like, "If the pillows aren't perfectly aligned, something bad will happen to my family. If I don't adjust these papers just right, I'll fail my exam." It sounds illogical when you say it out loud, and yet, in the moment, it feels very real. Psst, before we move on, think about this. Has there ever been a time when you felt stuck fixing something that seemed off even if you knew it didn't really matter? It's okay if you have. You're not weird. You're human. Why does Symmetry and Order OCD happen? Honestly, science is still learning. But a few things seem to play a role. Genetics. OCD often runs in families. Brain structure. Certain areas of the brain, like the orbitofrontal cortex, seem to function differently. Life experiences, stressful events, trauma, or transitions can trigger or worsen OCD symptoms. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you care too much. It's a real condition with real roots and real hope for healing. Managing Symmetry and Order OCD. I want to say this up front. Everyone's journey is unique. What works for one person might not work for another. But here are a few strategies that have helped many people navigate this challenge. 1. Mindfulness. Allowing discomfort. Mindfulness isn't about getting rid of OCD. It's about learning to sit with discomfort without immediately reacting. Like when you see a slightly crooked book. Instead of rushing to fix it, you pause, breathe, and tell yourself, I feel uncomfortable and that's okay. I can survive this feeling. You don't have to force yourself to endure forever. Even delaying your response by a few seconds is powerful. Each tiny moment of choosing not to react, it's building new pathways in your brain. 2. Exposure and response prevention, ERP. ERP is a gold standard therapy for OCD. It means exposing yourself to situations that trigger your discomfort and not performing the usual fixing rituals. For example, deliberately leaving a chair slightly crooked, sitting with the urge to straighten it. At first, it feels terrible. You might feel anxious, panicky, even a little nauseous. But over time, your brain starts learning that it doesn't need the rituals to survive. Important. ERP is usually best done with the support of a trained therapist. 3. Creating an imperfection zone. This is a fun little challenge. Choose a small space, like a shelf, a desk corner, and let it be imperfect. Let the books be a little messy. Let the pens be slightly out of order. It'll feel weird at first, maybe even wrong, but it's powerful training for your brain to embrace flexibility. Want to try it tomorrow? If yes, start thinking, which corner will you let be imperfect first? 4. Self-compassion. Be your own friend. Often, people with OCD are harsh critics of themselves. They feel guilty, ashamed, too much. But what if you talk to yourself like you would to a dear friend? I'm doing my best in a tough situation. This is hard, and I'm allowed to struggle. I deserve kindness even when I feel messy. Because every small step you take, it matters. And so do you. Still hanging in there? If yes, up next, we'll talk about something super important. When is it time to seek professional help? Stay with me, you're doing amazing. When to seek professional help? Sometimes, that little voice in our head says, I should be able to handle this alone. It's not bad enough to need therapy. I hear you. I truly get it. Opening up can feel scary. But asking for help isn't weakness. It's one of the bravest things you can do. Here are some signs it might be time to seek extra support. 1. Symptoms disrupt daily life. If your obsession with order is slowing down your work, hurting your relationships, making daily tasks exhausting, it might be time to reach out. 2. Feeling overwhelmed or hopeless. If you feel stuck in endless anxiety, sadness, or frustration, professional support can make a world of difference. You don't have to fight this battle alone. 3. Struggling despite self-help efforts. If you've tried mindfulness, self-kindness, tiny exposures, but still feel trapped, that's okay. It just means it's time for a different kind of help. And you deserve that. If you've made it this far, I want to say this with all my heart. I'm proud of you. Really. Understanding yourself, especially around something as tender and intense as OCD, takes courage. You're not just too sensitive. You are not just being picky. You are a whole, complex, resilient human being navigating a tough road. And even when you're tired, even when you stumble, your journey is valid. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy. You don't have to beat OCD completely to live a beautiful, meaningful life. You are already enough. And you are deeply, deeply worthy of love, especially from yourself. Disclaimer. Before we truly wrap up today, a quick but important note. All the stories and tips shared here about Symmetry and Order OCD, managing it, understanding it, are not a substitute for professional advice. I'm here as a friend, sharing with warmth and empathy. But for tailored, in-depth help, I highly encourage you to seek support from a licensed therapist, psychologist, or psychiatrist. Everyone's journey is unique, and you deserve professional care that meets you exactly where you are. Please don't hesitate to reach out for help if you need it. You deserve the best. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Remember, you are not alone, and every small, brave step you take is something to be celebrated.